So now 45 minutes later, after I tried to start this Mcculloch 210, as I told, you need to know your older chainsaw intimately, and this has a primer pump, so if you prime too much you drown it and then you're stuck. But if you know the chainsaw, you know if you need to put 5 pushes or 2 pushes or 8 pushes. These details could be important, but I think I got it now. I got the feeling on the rope when I tested it up with the car. I didn't start it, but I felt it's made contact. You feel that in the pull rope, so it probably is okay. And this I want to test just for fun. I think it has too low compression. It's a Husqvarna 65. I am waiting for new piston and piston rings in the post. I found them affordable price, so I put that together, tested the 2 different carburetors, but still, as if my measure instrument is correct, I think it has only 120 psi in compression, but I'm not really sure if I got the tester tightened enough into the spark plug hole. So because the cylinder, I mounted the cylinder and the piston, because I had 2 chainsaws. One had ignition, and one had the one with ignition had a bad cylinder and more bad piston. But the other one I thought was pretty okay in the cylinder and the piston, but it did not have ignition. So I thought I should scramble together one chainsaw. So I put the piston and the cylinder on the chainsaw that had ignition, and I inspected the cylinder and the piston, and they looked fairly good. But I didn't clean around the piston rings. I maybe should put that in the ultrasonic cleaner and airbrush it for carbon and sluggy, dirty things. But I didn't do. I just mounted it, and it has too low compression, but I think it will start. And I'm not sure why, but carburetor adjustment needles is way off. They are too tight, but it works on that, and maybe that has some connection with the low compression. I think it has a sharp chain. Maybe it's a 13 or 14 inch bar, 3/8. So for fun I will test that too. But first I want to test Mcculloch with the bullfrog carburetor. See if there is any bite on that. This is a saw I just put together. It has new gaskets in the carburetor, but as I tell, I have several of them, but I didn't have success with, I think I have 3 or 4 of them, if not 5, which, let's say 4, and they all have good compression and they all have good ignition. Some I needed to sand the points, the usual stuff, and the ignition was right up again. The spark was right back again. And it is something about the bullfrog carburetors. And it's also, I have one without a bullfrog, but with a Tillotson or Walbro or whatever. I don't remember the name. I think they write Mcculloch on the carburetor, but it is in real, yeah, it's a Tillotson or a Walbro, I'm not sure. HDC, is that the name? It's something about that. You can buy an inlet and a carburetor, and you can change the saw into a choke-based more normal carburetor, because those bullfrogs they they not last too long, not too reliable. I don't think they have the best word, but this one has a bullfrog, and maybe it's working. Really something. Good chain, and the chainsaw is powerful. That was a good bar and chain. Working perfect. And it's a bullfrog which I just talked down. Now the equipment is important. I think the chain I had on the XL12 home light, it's not good enough for real heavy duty. This tree is just a little too big for it, but this one is up to the job. Need to make a picture of it there. So will it restart good now? Excellent. Let's see this Husqvarna A65, what it can do. It's wet because it barely starts when it's dry, and then it works fairly okay. But it has too low compression, no doubt about that. But it's pretty easy to work on. So it's no big deal to change piston and cylinder on that one. Very impressed of that Mcculloch. That made my day. It maybe can do some work on this stubborn log. Let's see how that goes. Very good. Very pleased. American Mcculloch 210. Not sure how much cc it has, but it's about 55, I guess. But I checked that out. It's maybe more. Could it be 58, 57?